For years, Nizzy would drive into Houston, play Danny Hines a match, and get creamed from about 05 to 09. In 09, Nizzy turned the corner and was the first player to really hammer Danny in a challenge match. And really, I think he beat him 16-6. So there's a lot of history there. And I think you're going to see some of that play out here in the finals.
Yeah, actually, Davis has a really good, similar story. Davis played Danny a lot of challenge matches, and at some point around that time, he also turned the corner and was beating Danny pretty handily in both challenge matches and tournament play.
Yep. So I think what you're going to see in this match, I think you're going to say Nizzy and Davis do relatively well against Danny Hines. I don't think Danny's going to be able to go on those runs like he went on against Team Meyer and Kazada.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly going to come down to how are they able to score against Ehab Shukri. Ehab's known for having a great defense. If he can hold them out the way that he held out Luscombe and Fletcher, I think Hines and Shukri are going to have a shot. But mainly it's going to come down to Shukri's play, I think. I think Danny's probably going to be fighting a little bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah, I want to talk about Mark Nizzy's defense a little bit. People that have watched air hockey before will notice, and you can see it now, almost every top player plays away from the goal between 12 to 18 inches, whereas Nizzy sits back against the goal on defense. And something happened a minute ago where the puck hit his mallet, and Nizzy moved forward, the puck flew off, and the foul was called against No Limit Soldiers. What happens there is so the USAA rule is that the player that makes the last offensive motion on the puck commits a foul. So normally if you charge forward and hit the puck off the table, you've committed the foul. Because Nizzy's defense sits against the goal like that and comes out after the puck contacts him, he often gets calls in his favor where he didn't charge because the puck has already started flying off the table before he moves forward. So that could be a little confusing for viewers that may know the rule but not understand the nuances of Nizzy style defense.
I think so far we have both teams playing pretty equally, with nobody really carrying the teams. I think you're seeing some good air hockey here, a lot of good transition play, a big variety of shots.
Yeah.
And we're at 5-4 in the first game of the championship match. 5-5, Davis with a beautiful left wall over. I think that's Davis's patent shot, probably the best left wall over in the sport.
Yep.
He's also able to hit that shot out of a reversed diamond drift at full speed, which is almost impossible for everybody else. So if David can get that shot clicking in this match, I look for Sith to run away with it. Nice stop by Davis and a quick grab with the puck going towards the center line.
There he goes for that left wall over again, out of it, like you said, full speed. You can't hit it too many times against Danny because he does lock into shots. You have to hit the shot. If you miss it, you're going to have to find something else to do until you can set it up and he's not ready for it. And that's actually, the cut shot is a great combo shot with the left wall over, whereas with the left wall under, you combo it with the cross straight. So that's Sith winning game 1, 7-5. We're at game count 1-0. Sith, and they are 2 games away from taking this championship. Danny and Ehab, while the points were moving back and forth pretty evenly there until the end, I didn't feel like Danny and Ehab had the same kind of program or attack plan that Sith seems to have against them. The Sith are really confident in their shots and their shot selection, and No Limit seems to be sort of working ad hoc. I don't know if Sith has No Limit Soldiers have a plan.
Davis Lee with a great cross straight there on Danny Hines, and they get 2-0. I think we're getting to the territory of where No Limit Soldiers is going to have to start scoring points and winning games immediately, or this is going to be over in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, Davis locking in now and scoring on straight shots, which he scored a lot of bank shots last game, so he's mixing it up well. His transition play has improved throughout this tournament. Earlier in the tournament, he was having some trouble losing pucks and not getting pucks in transition. A great right wall under. Davis is locked in right now, and
had Danny leaning forward on that shot. The shot actually went into the middle of the goal, but because it was so deceptive and powerful from the middle of the table, Danny was caught leaning out over the table as if a cut shot was coming, and it was an easy goal right in the middle. Beautiful shot.
Just locked in.
And Ehab Shukri will telegraph his left balls, both his left ball under and over. He does hit them further left of center than he does other shots.
6-0 Davis win right now against a team that's been playing doubles together since 1995. So 17 years of experience for the No Limit Soldiers, only about a third of that for Sith, for Davis and Mark Nizzi. And we may be seeing a passing of the torch this year. No Limit Soldiers been considered the best doubles team for the past decade, but Sith is really starting to take it to them in singles and doubles, and I think Mark and Davis are carving out a niche for themselves.
Yeah, I think it also helps that they're probably the best two singles players against Danny Hines. They both have a formula. They've studied him, and no discredit to Danny. Danny had dominated for so many years, and his game was at such a high level that Danny didn't really have to adjust anymore. He could just kind of play his game, a lot like Rafael Nadal in tennis. Like, he has just one style of game that he's so good at. He can just execute the same shots over and over. That's kind of the situation Danny got into, and now that people are able to beat him, adjusting isn't necessarily Danny's strong suit. Not to say that he's bad at it, but he's not quite on the level as like a Nizzi or Davis at making adjustments.
Yeah, because he hasn't had to. That's a really good point. I think the same thing happened to Tim Weissman after his big run between '89 and '94. Players started to come up to his level with a variety of styles, and had been studying him. We wanted to beat him. Same way that Nizzi and Davis wanted to beat Danny, and when that happens and you've dominated for so long, I think it can really it could take a lot of discipline to play a game that's different from the one that's won you, in Tim and Danny's case, 10 national championships each. And that's actually a good preview for the action starting tomorrow in singles. We have a lot of national championship storylines going on. I think you talked about that a little bit in the Goal Grinder.
Yeah, I think we have kind of three big storylines going on here at the Nationals, in my opinion. Obviously, as Will alluded to earlier, Tim Weissman and Danny Hines are both at 10 national titles. That's one behind the most of all time of Jesse Dowdy at 11. So if either of those two win, you're going to have a really big story. I think other storylines to look forward to this tournament are Ehab Shukri, who is I believe a 6 or 7-time finalist, 2-time national champion himself. Had elbow surgery just 3 months ago, so we're really excited to see how he responds after that elbow surgery. It looks so far in this match like he's pretty fully recovered, so that'll be exciting to see if he's improved because of that surgery. And lastly, I think Brian Cazada, who was on the team of Don James, I expect him to finish around 7 or 8 this tournament, but I think you're looking at a future champion there. It's kind of like watching Michael Jordan play in college ball. You know, we know this guy's going to win a national sometime, and I think that's kind of an overlooked storyline of this tournament is how is Cazada going to perform.
Yeah.
I could see him winning the thing. I could see him finishing 14th, but I think the one thing that I do know is he's going to be a future finalist, and it's going to be exciting to watch him develop in this tournament.
Yeah, it must be amazing to be able to practice with him and see him coming up. It's easy for us to overlook him when we're not practicing with him 2 or 3 times a week, as you are. So Game 3 has slowed down the scoring pace quite a bit. We're at 2-1 No Limit Soldiers, and both teams are playing a little more conservative, a lot better defense, and we're just not seeing the kind of scoring runs that we saw in the first 2 games.
Beautiful off speed there. Those are really difficult to get on Ehab. Nizzi had to strike that perfectly for it to go in. As far as not scoring, Nizzi does play a charging style offense where he's taking a lot of chances. You should be able to score on Nizzi pretty frequently because he's guessing and he's taking chances. You shouldn't go long droughts without scoring. So for Danny and Ehab not to be scoring on Nizzi, that's a bad sign of things to come.
Yep.
3-3. We're just 4 points away from a national championship with Davis and Nizzi if they can close the deal here. Looks like maybe a little bit of butterflies is set in on their team, realizing that they are this close to winning their 3rd national title together.
Yeah. 4-3, Sith.
Again, a beautiful cross. That's something that Ehab normally stops.
Yeah, it's very difficult to score a cross on Ehab. He's weaker against the cut side. Danny ties it up 4-4. A little pace shot on that, a little transition, and Nizzy hits a beautiful right wall under, almost a Danny style back of the mallet delivery. And you can see how effective it is on all players because of the timing, difficulty in blocking that shot.
Here we are.
6-4. This is tournament point, and Danny takes a timeout. It's another one of those close calls, whether or not the puck was flying off before Mark started to move forward, and this time it didn't. Oh, that's just a beautiful shot by Danny, and Danny's been in this situation so many times, and that's what he does. It's 6-6 now. Tournament point, game point. Mark Nizzy has a lot of pressure on him right now.
Oh! Wow. A tournament point 4 comeback there by Danny Hines. Certainly the right man at the table to do it. And they prolong this match at least one more game. Very exciting.
Yeah. Let's see how Sith responds to that. We talked last match about taking a break to get Danny off a run, and he's certainly on it. Those last 3 shots were all of the highest quality. And so let's see if Sith takes a break, tries to cool Danny off, gets a little strategy talk, and it looks like they are going to walk it off a little bit.
Yeah, Davis and Nizzy are certainly more experienced than Team Meyer and Pizzata. They're going to know how to slow Danny down. They know that he's a tempo player, and I think mainly what you saw. I think you saw some good play by Danny, but I think more than anything you saw a little bit of nerves from Davis and Nizzy in that last game. They seemed to get off to a shaky start. Once they had tournament point, they just weren't the same as they were the first 3 games in this match.
Yeah, and that seems to have continued a little bit. Davis just scored on himself with a very sloppy shot. But as a good doubles partner will do, Nizzy steps up, scores on Danny with a really solid shot. Just, you can calm your partner's nerves by just getting up and scoring like that with a really solid shot. Don't try to do too much, but it's good for your partner to see.
And this is the matchup that Team Hines and Shukri are going to have to win. When Shukri's at the table against Nizzy, that should be the most imbalanced matchup at the table. Ehab should be outscoring Nizzy about 2-1. Yeah. That's just not happening this match.
Yeah, Ehab's defense it looks a little off right now. Nizzy's scoring shots that just normally would not score on Ehab, and on offense, Ehab's I don't know if his elbow is hurting him, but his banks don't have the zip that they normally had, and he needs to really deep bank around Nizzy's charging defense to get him back, so that then his beautiful cuts can start to slither in.
Again, we have an early lead by Nizzy and Davis in this game. Again, 4 points away from the championship.
Yep. 3-1. It's Nizzy and Danny are just trading blows right now. They're trading runs. And it could be so frustrating to make a run like that, like Nizzy did last game, and then to lose it. When Danny goes on a run, these games are never over.
Nice right wall under there by Nizzy. A little bit of history between Shukri and Nizzy. Shukri has mainly owned Nizzy throughout their career. I believe their record is something like 10 sets to 2. So that, as I was saying earlier, is certain a matchup that Team Hines and Shukri are going to have to dominate. When Shukri's at the table, they're going to have to score on Nizzy.
So, yeah, and we may be seeing a little preview of Ehab's condition for this tournament tonight. If he's losing a matchup that he normally doesn't lose. It's 4-2 now. And Davis is up. See if Danny can get a little run going. He's hitting that puck hard.
That was you're seeing some intentional off goals by Davis against Danny. That's something that Davis really likes to incorporate into his game. Intentionally miss a shot followed by another shot that complements it. You'll see a lot of shots dead in the corner by Davis. Those are intentional.
Okay.
Then you'll see that followed by a right wall over or cut, some type of shot that complements it.
Such a dangerous strategy against a player like Danny Hines, though. When his arm and his hand are moving as fast as they are right now, he's getting into a rhythm. And off goal cannot do what you think it's going to do. Danny can turn it into a shot. He can just snag the puck, quick shot on you, and it's almost feeding into him at that point. But again, when he's this locked in, if you don't off goal, you're losing the puck a lot too.
Yep. Here I think we just saw some sloppy air hockey there for the last couple points. A couple weak shots followed by a puck knocked off the table. It looks like both teams are getting a little bit nervous here, and then Danny scores on himself. They're trying to give this match to Nizzi and Davis. Nice read by Nizzi. I think he was clearly charging there. That'll be Shukri's puck.
Yep. Expect he had to follow that up with a really sharp under the mallet bank or a double bank.
Double bank. Those do work on Nizzi. He did do that intentionally. That's something that...
Oh, it's 6-4. It's tournament point for Sith. Yeah, EHAB uses that shot a lot intentionally on master level players who aren't used to seeing it.
Especially against Nizzi, who's a charger, so he's going to be out at the rail.
Didn't face Davis, though, who got up and just... Here we go again. It's tournament point 4 last game. It's tournament point 4 this game. Danny's up. Let's see if what Nizzi's going to do differently this time. It's a weak shot and ends up.
Oh my God!
Nizzi's showing some frustration there, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to show any frustration there. He thinks the puck went off the table. I didn't see anything. The ref didn't see anything. But luckily in doubles, your partner gets to come up calm and collected and try to win it. Tournament point, game point. Ooh. Oh, beautiful transition play. Danny puts it in again with the back of the mallet, right wall under.
Amazing. Davis had 2 open cuts there. He just missed them. Then he went for a 3rd one in a row, and Danny was there. He got control of the puck, and then you saw what happened. He looked like a tornado out there. And when Danny gets on that roll, you cannot stop him. That's amazing. 2 games in a row where they were up tournament point 4 with Danny at the table, and he came back both games.
Yep.
Amazing.
This game 5 is tournament game for Sith, and if No Limit Soldiers wins this game, we will go to a second final set, and it will be winner take all at that time. If you thought Sith was under pressure before, they have to be feeling it now after having 6 tournament points in a row against Danny, and Danny just lighting it up to come back against them. So it's going to be interesting to see, again, I mean, it's been back and forth all the way up to the end of these games. And with Danny and Nizzi on the table, let's see who makes a run first.
If Nizzi and Wynn do not go on to win this match, they're going to have a long night ahead of them in bed with 6 tournament points. They're supposed to win with 6 tournament points. Players of this level are supposed to win 98 times out of 100. These type of comebacks don't happen. It's going to be a really rough night's sleep for these guys if they're not able to turn this around and win this match.
Yeah. Here we are seeing some nerves again, some knocking the puck off, from both teams though. I mean, I don't think Danny comes out. He just doesn't come out very strong at the beginning of games, even if it was on a run. But there with a soft cut against Nizzi, to know that's going to work at such an important point, Danny's got to be feeling something right now. Yeah, I think we're seeing EHAB not at 100% right now.
Yeah, his right wall under really doesn't have the sting on it. That is probably Davis's biggest weakness, so that's really going to hurt him in this match. I think you're absolutely right, Will. EHAB's looking a little weak after the surgery, so we'll see how he responds in singles over the weekend. But right now, I would put. I don't know if I would put him in the top 5 in this tournament.
Yeah. Sith are up 2-1. That's the second time Danny's knocked the puck off the table in the last couple of rotations. We've got Davis winning against Danny Hines right now. This really, because of their singles history, is really an interesting matchup. But you know, singles and doubles really are different games. You can get on a roll in singles in a way that you can't in doubles, because you're not playing the same player over and over again, and your opponent's not playing you all of the time as well. So your mind tends to get reset a little bit. It's really hard to get on a one-on-one roll in doubles.
And not to mention, you're not at the table constantly. You're only at the table half the time, so that just adds to the difficulty of trying to get on a roll and in a rhythm. In this match, it's a lot different, and it takes a different mindset to compete in doubles. Shots are the same, but the psychological makeup that it takes to compete at doubles is completely different.
Yep.
I personally have never liked it. Always been tough for me. I've been a singles player, but these guys are certainly a lot better at doubles than I am.
Yeah, it's a different beast. And you know, you'll have players overperforming themselves in doubles, overperforming their singles performances. It's 3-2, no limit soldiers right now. Danny's there's no runs really going. That's a beautiful shot. He hasn't hit many left wall unders in this match, and he just wants to show them that he's got more than what he's been scoring on them with. You know, it's when something like that happens, it can take a minute for you to realize that you still have a defense.
And Danny is using a new mallet this tournament. He's had problems with the cartilage in his middle finger of his playing hand.
5-2, no limit soldiers.
So this new mallet that Danny's using does cause his left wall under to fly a lot more than in the past. So that's something Danny's kind of shied away from.
Okay.
But when he does hit it, it's blistering hard. The problem is it's probably borderline too hard. The puck's just leaving the table for it.
Davis with a beautiful transition. 5-3, no limit soldiers. Let's see if Danny's really carried them this entire match. Ehab's not been scoring a lot. He scored in the first game, but I haven't seen him score much in the last 3 games. And that is the kind of shot that we're used to seeing Shukri hit. And that's just a great time for it too. 5-3. You know, if you get knocked off the table, the other team can get a little momentum.
Good.
And that shot, a left wall under by a right-handed player hit from the dead middle of the table, is just with that type of accuracy and power, it's going to be really tough on the defender.
Oh, that was nice.
Beautiful right wall over.
Yeah, set 1 to no limit soldiers. So we are going to go to a winner-take-all set 2. We'll be back with commentary for that, and just about, well, however long the players want to take, but I suspect they'll take a few minutes in between.